Please stand. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Roll call. Roll call.
Gene Suis.
Bob Rowe.
Sharon Lindsay.
Jean Black.
Brenda Paquette.
Lillian Halpin. Cheryl. I mean,
There she comes.
she's coming.
Sorry.
There are no minutes because there was no meeting at the last meeting. We approved the December one, didn't we?
Yeah, just started, didn't it?
Did we approve the December one?
No, because there was no
No.
January.
No January.
Okay, everybody's got the December one. Would I need a motion to approve it or make any changes?
I make a motion to approve the December meeting. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. State your name for the record.
Sharon Lindsay.
Made a motion and Brenda seconded. All in favor was, everybody said all in favor.
Who
Okay,
seconded?
there are no citizens, so there's no comments. Communications,
Nope.
none?
Hi.
Hi,
Hi, I'm sorry I'm late.
say your name.
Hi, Connie McGuire.
Okay.
Late, Connie McGuire. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
None, did you say? Budget? Jean?
So in your packet, you have a copy of the budget year to date. There's actually two that I printed. One is for the town budget, and then the other is the formula grant. So that's the blue one that's in blue. And then the one on the spreadsheet is the one that has the detail. And again, you'll see on the top, like, normal formula grant. And then the other one says budget summary. So you have both of those to review.
Okay. Summary. Okay. Did you want to make a comment about it or anything?
If you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay.
Just the budget.
Are there any questions on the budget?
Could we have a few more minutes to go over it?
If you want to look at it?
Please,
Yeah.
thank you.
Actually, we would appreciate it. We've had this before a meeting, so we could review it before we come to the meeting.
Well, I printed out, so Cheryl, do you want to start mailing them out?
Thank you.
I'm the outreach coordinator. Is that 24,000, whatever it is that for two?
Yep, that's the total for two.
For two.
So I have one outreach coordinator that works 15 hours a week and one that works 18 hours a week.
I see. So we have one almost full-time.
There's nothing. That's it. That's what.
On the capital expenditure, Jean, is there an overall budget for that every year on capital expenditure? How does that work?
We're,
Oh, I don't know, I'm just looking at capital.
Capital improvement.
What's that?
are you talking about the formula grant?
Yeah. how
Okay,
does
so that
work?
capital expenditure,
Yeah,
that is because we wanna buy another one of these tables, so we can have 4 tables. So that money was allocated from our formula grant to purchase another table.
okay, good, okay.
That's what that is for.
All right, excellent.
So every year, when you get your formula grant, there's, it's called the green guide. So you can go through and there's certain things that you can just spend that money on.
Oh, okay,
And that's it.
makes sense, makes sense. Okay.
Bob, you got a question?
Nope, I'm all set.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Anybody have a question on budget? No? Okay. We have other concerns. Director's report?
Okay, so you have your budget, which I just gave to you. The next thing I have under new business is our volunteer recognition luncheon. Usually we do that in April, so would like to find a date. Usually it's on a Sunday. If we still want to have the volunteer recognition, there's probably about 75 people. And the thing that we need to just make mention of is that a person physically has to volunteer for 25 hours in the year. Because we use formula grant funds, it's up to $16.50, which I can use towards it. So for this year, FASCA pays for the remaining. This year, it's $990, which I have. But a person, as I said, physically has to come and volunteer for the senior center for 25 hours. Otherwise, they're not included in the volunteer luncheon. Okay?
We were thinking of the April 22nd date.
April 22nd?
Yeah, because the weather is not that great in the beginning of the month. We had that before. We had snow.
Well, it's Easter too.
Yeah.
Easter's
Easter's
early.
And
April
Easter is on April 1st.
So that's when we've usually had it.
And
the
are
first
you-
week, and it's
Do you guys
Also-
all want to do the mail the same as we did last year?
Weren't we gonna eliminate something, the roast
Yes.
beef?
Roast beef.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There were 2 tiers, that when we took the high tier, but
Right.
the one tier down doesn't have the roast
Right,
beef on it.
Right.
Right.
Cheryl, can you call and get the
Yeah, sure.
prices on that and set that up?
And
Okay.
see if the date is open?
Yep,
Which date?
the 22nd.
April
22nd.
Okay,
Next to the last Sunday in the month.
thank you.
Okay.
You still want to have it there, right?
Yeah.
The
Still
Elks.
wanted that, the
Elks.
Elks. Is everybody happy with that?
And they'll offer you the first, they'll offer you the floor on or below. I kind of like the floor above. You know, when you make the choice, asking to make a choice of whether you want to be downstairs or whether you want to be upstairs.
Upstairs.
Upstairs is better.
I like upstairs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I like upstairs.
Thank you.
Remember last year we did that?
We did that. They gave us a choice and I remember,
That was nice last year.
We were gonna
The
discuss
food
about,
is just so good.
people that qualify as volunteers. If they get paid for any stipend or whatever, they cannot go because they're not really volunteers if you get paid for anything. So we were gonna discuss that and see,
Right, like we discussed too, on Knit and Stitch, they physically have to be working on a project for something in the community, something for the
Exactly.
veterans, something for the children. I mean, as much as say volunteers, even at the COA board, if you just come for a meeting, you're only here for half an hour, you're not gonna qualify
right,
either, so that's another thing. Same as like people that are in FASCA, you physically have to be volunteering, doing something for the senior center to qualify.
but there are some people that get stipends and get paid, they shouldn't be at the party.
I think some, I'll have to look into that, cause some of them I know just get mileage.
Yeah,
And then some people like do way more than 25 hours. I mean, Bob's here for 25 hours in a week, never mind a whole year. People work as receptionists and everything, so.
okay, you will
Yep.
check it out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
When you say get paid, does that mean the work-off program, is that included or?
Work-off program, it's not volunteering because you're
You're getting
you're
paid for
getting
that.
paid.
Okay,
But usually people, if they do the work-off program, usually they stay on a volunteer. So I know, for example, we have people that do the work-off, but they're here way more than the 125 hours
Right.
in a year.
Okay.
So I think you're referring to maybe people in the lunchroom? I don't know, what do you read, the people that get paid, is that what you mean? The kitchen?
The kitchen help.
Mm-hmm.
What about the van drivers and so forth?
Nope, they don't.
They don't.
Nope.
Okay, but some people get comped for trips. That is getting paid. That is getting paid.
yes it is.
Yes.
They're getting big bucks comped. So you gotta find out who.
But they physically have to work for 25 hours, not work, volunteer.
Right.
I have another question too. Does that mean that if you're on Council on Aging, but that's all you do, you don't volunteer in any other capacity, then you can't go to the volunteer luncheon? Is that what you said? I didn't know whether I heard you, sorry.
I kind of think like going forward, my own personal opinion is, I think that if that's the qualification, like for part of the formula grant, is that you should be volunteering 25 hours in a year. So if someone's only coming to a meeting 10 months out of the year, and that's the only thing they do is just sit on a board and then they're gone, and some people aren't even here because they go to Florida, then, then they really shouldn't qualify. Maybe you feel differently, but,
No, I just wanted to, no, I think.
because then anybody, like, oh, I come in and I do one project, I'm here for 3 hours, and now I'm gonna go for a volunteer lunch,
Yeah, in some ways, I understand what you're saying, because people that volunteer those 25 hours, that's a lot of time for them, and they're putting in time. And so, you're looking at a fairness
No,
issue,
it
I guess, too. But I just wanted to, I don't necessarily have an opinion either way, but I just wanted a clarification on it.
And that's part of the stipulation of using the formula grant funds, is that it comes from the state, they physically have to work, I keep saying work, volunteer for 25 hours in the year.
The thing that's good about it, it does clarify it and makes a definition of it, so it's easier. So when people know what the definition is, it's almost easier to buy into it. Oh, okay, that's what the formula grant says, in some ways, it makes it easier to buy into it. Or less subjective was what I'm saying, more objective.
Okay, I need a motion for that date and Elks, and have Cheryl to go check prices and see if the date is. Motion.
I make a motion that we have the assistant director check out the date for the volunteer luncheon that we're thinking is the 22nd of April.
Right, and she's gonna check the prices
And
on
she's
the
gonna check the
meals.
prices and see what, maybe we're trying to go for the second tier without the roast beef.
Right,
So I make a motion that Cheryl check out the place, the date, the time, and the menu.
Second,
say your name for him.
I'm Bob Rowe.
Barbara, seconded,
Connie McBride put the motion in.
okay.
Are they still,
All in favor?
Aye.
are they
So
still gonna give, a little
Gifts?
gift?
We didn't
Oh,
tell you.
yeah. The FAFSA.
Oh, that's.
Oh,
up
it's
to
Vasca that does that? Like
Well-
last year, they got the little,
It was Dunkin' Donut gift
Dunkin'
cards.
Donut.
Give
Mm.
it-
And also, if, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's right, who funds that?
Vasco.
Vasca?
And if a spouse or somebody wants to accompany that person,
Last year it was $20, so whatever the price of the meal would be, that's what we would charge.
So if they want a guest, they have to pay for the
Yep, they pay
person.
for their guest. That's what they did last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They could have
Okay.
someone come as long
Will
as,
this still be raffle?
that's all up to FAFSA.
Oh,
We have-
FAFSA
yeah.
does that
Yeah,
too?
they do the raffle.
Did we settle then is it okay to ask a question? Okay.
Did we what?
Did we settle the participant thing? Are we going with the formula grant that you have to put 25 hours in order to get an invitation to the volunteer luncheon? Did we sort of settle that, or is it up in the air?
it's up in the air.
As far as using those funds, they have to volunteer for 25
Right.
hours.
Who checks on that?
maybe no one checks on it, but I can't say,
I
in good
mean,
conscience, I can't
that's-
say
no,
you
that's
haven't been
true.
here, you know?
I mean, how do you regulate that? I mean, you just
How do you
say,
know who's put in 25 hours?
Because I go under my senior center
Senior
and I
center has
can, I do a report.
I didn't even know about it. So I never, what, how many hours I didn't know. Nobody ever told me.
Bob has a question.
I have a question, and I know it's not newsletter time, but April, we featured the newsletter volunteers on the front page with their names, and the names are continued on the next page. So I don't want to get that to the printer in April before we have the lunch. And those people say, why isn't my name on there? Or why am my name on there and I didn't do this? So I think that has to be decided what the rules are to be invited before we get too far going
I
on
mean,
it
I
to
guess
April.
it depends what you think, but someone shouldn't just be able to go to a lunch because they've only worked for 5 hours in a whole year. I mean, there has to be some type of criteria of how many hours they're putting in.
And it is the senior center thing that, you know, the senior center machine out there? When you come in, even if you come into this, I don't know whether COA is on it. Is COA on that?
Yes.
It is, okay. I never punch in for COA. I do,
Yeah, I never either.
75% of the time I punch in for the receptionist work, 75%. But even if you punch in for COA, it's
doesn't
not,
take the hours.
it's
You
not
have to-
25 hours. So you could punch in, you'd have to punch in 500 times or something.
You have to
It
put in the
doesn't
hours.
even
It's a
ask the
separate-
hours on
it's a
the
separate-
COA.
No.
Right. So even if you didn't punch in for COA, you still wouldn't have enough hours because usually COA is an hour a month. So that would give you like 12
But it
hours.
doesn't record it. When you punch in for COA, it's
doesn't
not
record.
considered volunteer
You have to
because
go
it
into
doesn't come up
volunteer.
with the
Because you're not
time.
punching in correctly, you have to go under volunteer.
Right.
Nobody ever told me
I-
that. until-
I just punch.
We discussed this like 2 months ago. Remember when I had the list?
Yeah.
And I asked everyone to sign in under volunteer? We talked about this. at
Yeah, now I know.
What meeting
but I
was it,
didn't know
Cheryl,
that.
November?
Been here 3 years ago.
I can believe it was like the November or December meeting that we talked about this punching in as a volunteer.
Yeah,
So that everything would be recorded. Because what happens is I go by my senior center, I can do a report, everyone that's volunteered, I can pick times, custom range, and find out who was volunteering for what.
So
what activity.
Why does it come up on the screen with COA and
Yeah.
my name, COA?
Mhm.
I push COA and
And
it says
finish.
finish.
Because it's coming on the screen as, like, anyone could come in here. So if I have someone in the audience, like just a general member, they could punch in to come into a COE meeting. You have to go under
because we got an open
volunteer.
meeting.
So it's up on the left-hand side, it says, like, when you kind of,
Oh,
when you
I
come in
know,
as
'cause
a
I do it-
volunteer.
I do it for
Same thing, so it'd be
reception.
COA, so you would punch in for
So
COA.
what do you put in, half an hour? How do we know how long we're gonna be in
It's
here?
an
I would just put in like an hour.
Put an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
We never go
That's what I
over an
do.
hour, so
Oh,
you know.
right,
so
right,
we
but
know
sometimes
an
it's
hour.
15 minutes
And that's why
or
it's
half
just
an
a way to
hour.
keep track. And I'm not trying to say you were here for 1 hour and 12 minutes, you were only here
Right.
for 42 minutes. It's just
Right.
for general, just to
But-
get
But
information.
also, if you do something outside of here for COA, like you do shopping or whatever, or you do research
Oh,
and
you need to
everything.
get that into it?
Mhm.
Yes, you
That helps
add
out.
that on to your COA time.
Oh, I see, okay. I will
Okay.
remember now.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily have to be doing it here if you're doing it home
Okay,
or
right.
traveling around
Yeah.
doing things for COA.
Okay.
That's also volunteering,
All right.
You just keep it a
as
record
long
of
as you're
the
not
time.
getting paid.
Yeah, you just keep it a record of the time. I
I
guess.
mean, it's good for the grant and it's good for just, you know,
Right.
for local administration to know, oh, we had 100 volunteers and it was 7,000 hours that they donated to the senior
Being
center.
a receptionist,
Mhm.
trying to catch people that fly by you to go into an activity, sometimes they take offense to it. Well, why do I have to do that? And I try to explain to them, it goes along with the grant, we need to show how many people are participating.
I mean, we can't make it mandatory, but it's
No.
just helpful for us, so that way we have a
That's
number
what I
of.
tell them.
So if someone said to you, like, how many people are you getting at yoga, we could say, oh, we get 10 people consistently. How many people come to Strength and Balance? Well, on a Tuesday, we might get 35, or it's just good to have numbers, so you have
Right,
backup.
right.
That's what that's for. That's why we have my senior center, and it's good for when I have to do my annual formula grant. because they ask for number of statistics.
And you can check through that to see who qualifies for the 25 hours and let Bob know if that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah. I guess I was wondering, I think that, you know, you have a certain credibility with a formula grant. Yeah, no one's gonna call up here and check and say, hey, well, I wanna see your list, you know. I can't believe that someone from the state would ever do that. But you also have a conscience and goodwill that you're following the formula grant. So I think we need to follow the 25-hour formula grant. And the only other alternative is if we paid for people that were less than that out of a different pocket of change. Like if there was someone that you really felt didn't put the 25 hours in, but heck, they bring in so much to the center, then maybe there would be a different pocket of money that you could say,
Well, that's
okay.
probably more what FASCA would cover, because we're only contributing up to, as I said, 990. So depending on the price and how many volunteers, that's where FASCA kind of makes up the difference.
I see.
And they usually have to every year.
Mhm.
I'm not so sure about this year, but
We don't have any of the prices yet or anything, so we'll have to find that
it's
out.
probably $20 a person.
So you're saying that if people are knit and stitch, they have to be working on they just can't come in here and do
Right,
their
so
own
if we're
thing?
all, you know, doing knit and stitch and you're working on a project for yourself,
yourself,
you
that
wanna make
doesn't-
yourself an Afghan.
Right.
And Lillian's working on little hats for babies, she's giving something to the community
And
while
I'm
you're
not.
working on something, so you're really
Right.
not a volunteer.
Okay,
You know, if you're making, you know, lap robes for people at Life Care, for the veterans or hats, and then, you know, Cheryl's just doing a little hat for herself, that's, you know, this
That doesn't
volunteering,
count,
and then
yeah.
there's someone, it's just like a social group that you're in here
right.
and just, you know, knitting for yourself, so that's what the difference is.
Do they know that?
Right.
Yep, they do
Just-
know it.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
All people
Yep,
that,
and Jennifer knows, Jennifer kind of, she runs that, and she's been made aware, and she keeps, they kind of sign in too, so she knows what they're working on.
Because there are a lot
okay.
of them are not there to volunteer, they're there for doing stuff for themselves.
Okay.
Right, and
Right.
it's just
So
like a
that
social
doesn't
group, just to
count.
come
Right,
in and just.
I agree, yeah.
Sit with, you know, just talk with people, and it's just, you know, fun for them,
Right.
working on their own thing, but they're really not volunteering
But
for
I-
a specific organization.
I do think last year they all did get invited.
Yeah, they did.
They did, but they weren't
That's
supposed
right.
to.
I mean, I don't know if you guys feel different, but I think if someone's just coming into Knit and Stitch and just working on a project for themselves, why would they come in for a volunteer
Right.
lunch
They
when they're
shouldn't.
not? Right, and I
Volunteer.
think that's what we're discussing now, it just,
Right.
I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but I'm just
No,
saying you
no,
have to
but it isn't
physically
there.
be volunteering. When
Right.
you could get anyone that comes in,
Right.
oh, you
Right.
know, I water the plant, or, you know, it's just, you know, everyone could be saying, I do something, so it's just, I think that's why you
Right.
have to have like a minimum number of hours,
Right.
in my opinion, but.
Well, you're also respecting, I mean, the purpose of the volunteer dinner is to respect the people that gave up their time
Yes.
to come and help out the center. And so it's not just a free lunch for anybody, you know, it's,
Right,
it's
and we
expensive.
appreciate people coming in, because if we didn't have people sitting at the front desk and, you know, answering the phones, and, you know, people that do our newsletter, and people that help in the kitchen and all this, I mean, it would be costly for the town too, to staff someone full-time too.
Right.
So
Should we-
they
Now, I have
are,
a question too. Now, what about the people that play that volunteer for bingo? So they're coming in and they're maybe here for 20 minutes a day.
Uh-huh.
So that's
what do you mean, like once a week if they come in?
if they come in
So if
once
they're
a week
coming
at 20
consistently
minutes. So
once
that's
a week and they're helping to raise money like for whatever,
Mhm.
so if they're here, that I think if they, as long as they have 25 hours over a whole year, then yeah, they would qualify.
But if
Because you
they
have
don't?
people that are, yeah, then they wouldn't, I would say no.
so this should be decided soon, since
Like
we're
now.
in February and he's
Right,
gotta
this is
get
in April.
together the April newsletter next month.
And I have to get it earlier because.
Yeah, and he's starting on it already, people.
So
And once the
should
list
we-
is, well, I've been given a preliminary list,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's gonna go back to Cheryl and Jean to keep updating it until it comes time for the printing, and that's when they have to stop.
Should we be voting on this, or? I mean, how do we get this 25-hour qualification?
We voted on this some time ago.
Yeah, Jean is gonna make sure that anyone that's invited has $25. We
Okay,
don't need to vote on that.
okay,
She's gonna do it, she's in charge of it.
okay,
That's the rule, we decided.
In conjunction with Cheryl,
Right,
Yeah.
correct.
okay.
I mean, if
Between the
anybody
two.
wants to come, then they're more than welcome to pay if it's $20, 21, 22, whatever, if we find out what the fee is.
Yes,
Like if someone wants to bring a spouse or a friend or whatever, then
right.
they can do that as well too. Because we did that last year. Last year was my first year, so I'm kind of going by what we did last year, and just to let you know, this is the rules, not my rules, but through Executive Office or Elder Affairs, this is what they ask on the Green Guide, is that you should work a minimum number of hours, and for reasons like this.
This may be a motion, I'm not sure. The the 25-person thing, hour thing.
25 hours,
The
yep.
25-hour thing is, that's a rule, you have to vote on it, that's your rule, it's in your formula grant. But I'd like the idea that if somebody that really wants to go, because they feel committed to this, but they haven't put the 25 hours in, is that they can, just like a spouse, they can also pay the $20 or 21 or whatever it
the fee
is.
yeah.
They can go and do that? Does that have to be a motion, or is that just, we're just gonna let people know that?
I don't have any objection to that, if anyone else does, if anyone wanted to go, if they're gonna, I mean, it's basically to honor the volunteers.
As long as they pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's to honor the
There's no
volunteers.
exclusions. If they wanna pay for it and go,
I think that's great,
yeah.
yeah, I think that's great.
Okay, can we move on? We canceled the rental meeting because of lack of people showing up, so we'll try again next month,
I don't think
9
we-
o'clock before the meeting, the rental,
I'm sorry, can I say
you were
something?
on it.
But that, it wasn't
It's
because I didn't.
supposed to be an hour before the next meeting. It was supposed to be today, but people didn't show.
Oh, I guess I didn't know it was here at 9. I would have been here, I guess I
Okay,
didn't know
so
that.
we've been trying,
Carrie
but.
is, ahead of it,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know that it was taking place either, to be honest with you, because she called in.
So don't try to
canceled.
show, I didn't know about it.
No, no one did.
Okay,
Well, Jean did.
I just
She
wanted to
did,
call.
I did.
Carrie canceled coming here. I don't know, she's ahead of that, the
Right.
whole rental policy.
I just
She's the
wanted that
chair.
corrected, that it wasn't because, if I had known it was here, I would have shown,
Oh,
it would just not have
So
shown.
now we're gonna put the date for the next meeting, an hour before the next meeting, so that's April 13th. I think. Yeah, April 13th at 9.
I'm gonna, post it myself right now, because I don't know that she even did that. She's the chairperson, right? I believe?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, okay.
And the only reason I'm gonna be there is because I'm chairman of the council and just to observe, I'm not on the committee. Carrie is the chairman of that committee, right? Okay. Everybody got that? Okay. Bob, newsletter.
Newsletter. Because there's a holiday this month, and because February has only 28 days, we've had to bust it to get it together. And we plan to send it out towards the end of this week because of the shortage of days. They need 10 days minimum. Another question for you folks. Someone mentioned to me that this cover should have been on January's issue.
And the reason we couldn't do that is because you would have to know in December, and we didn't have the dates or to know who was coming from
So-
Steve Waterman. So unfortunately, because of the timing of when the newsletter has to get published and everything, we didn't have confirmation that they were even coming if they had any volunteers. So we didn't even find out until January. So that's the reason.
That's why we can't do it.
Yep.
I have to put it, we've always done it in February, but by the time word of mouth gets out there, it's all
Right.
filled up. And now it's all filled up, there's no spaces for anybody else. It was filled up, what, a week ago?
Yeah, it just got filled, yes. But that's the reason,
So-
because it has to go to the publisher and we don't have confirmation from them. Because I know in Holden, they didn't have any volunteers for this year, so they don't have any tax services.
Oh, my.
So you have to have volunteers willing to come. So unfortunately, I can't change that.
Wait a minute, we have appointments starting on
February.
5th, and ending when?
And what?
And ending when?
April.
Oh,
It's
okay.
April
But it's just
9th.
Mondays.
Just
Yeah, we
Monday.
only come Mondays.
Monday mornings.
Yep. There are two volunteers that come and they're here every Monday morning.
And they do 6 appointments?
They do 8.
8.
Anything on newsletter?
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
Do they file electronically?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We already discussed about the rental policy. New business. We talked about the volunteer luncheon, date and place. Survey for program.
Survey. So there's a new survey, which was tweaked. There might have been one previously, but I added and deleted different things. This is actually on the town website. It's going to be in the newsletter, letting people know where they can access this on the website, and it's going to be on the receptionist desk. So just to give us a better idea of what programs that seniors might want, days and times, any ideas that they have. So, as I said, we've got a couple of responses because it's been on the website, but a lot of people don't know about it yet because it will be in the newsletter.
How many people responded in 2017?
I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing this, so this is brand new.
Okay. You're asking everybody to fill it out, but they don't have to sign it.
No, nope. Nope. You don't have
If
to
this,
sign
I don't know whether it, who this question should go to, maybe it doesn't fit with this, but I went to the movies last Sunday, and I was sitting there thinking, you know, if I were an elderly person and I wanted to go to a movie, it'd be really hard if I didn't have a car or something. So would that be a basket trip thing, or would that be a center thing? If we could consider getting a bus, like the WRT bus, and you pay, it's cheap transportation, and doing a movie at the Blackstone occasion. I know my mother was at Eddie Pond, they would do movies to Blackstone, and they could all go in there and sign up for it. And sometimes I was thinking, how many opportunities do some folks get to go to the movies? And they might like to do that.
On the other hand, on Mondays, we have movie here.
I know, I understand what you're saying, so you want people to go to the movies. So it would,
Probably be on a Wednesday.
and they'd have to register through WRTA,
Correct.
I would say. And then,
Early.
or do a trip, so they would have like a scheduled trip to
I see.
Millbury through the WRTA.
Like we do for
service.
groceries, we would do
Yes.
this for
Right.
the movies.
You could do it like probably on a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday's senior day over at Showcase.
In Blackstone or Showcase? Is it
The
Blackstone?
one in
No, no.
Millbury?
Showcase?
Showcase Cinema.
The one in Millbury, they have, like, if you go for lunch at two of the restaurants there, you can get a ticket to go to the movies. After you have your lunch, you can go to the movies.
Really?
So if they did that with conjunction with the bus, that would be great.
And what's the name of the
And then
restaurant?
one of them is Red Robin,
Oh,
and the other one's
right.
IHOP.
No, Uno's, isn't it Uno's?
Uno's?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Uno's does it too.
Uno's.
Oh, I don't know, I just thought about, I think the Monday movies are great. We don't have a huge number, I'm usually here on Mondays, we don't have a
Yeah.
huge number of people going. But sometimes people just like, even if it's once a month, a day out, and it's just kind of neat, you know?
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Especially the people that don't have cars.
Right.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Or don't want to drive up, but it would have to be Millbury because it's so
It
much
would be.
closer.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it'd have to be in our,
So maybe
And
pick
probably
a,
11, 12, 1, it would have to be early.
Yeah,
they have some 11, do they have 11 o'clock, 12
I think so.
I don't know if you'd probably be able to eat because, you know, it's really, you'd only probably be able to do a couple hour window, 1:30, 2
Probably.
o'clock at the latest.
depends on the length of the movie.
Right.
right, but for us, I mean, we wouldn't be able to have like a fast food trip and hire a van because you'd have to fill the van to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too expensive.
But we might be able to do something like we
Through
do
the
shopping
WRTA,
trips.
yes.
You could put it in the newsletter so you get any response.
Right,
I just thought, it was just a thought when I was
Great
sitting there
idea.
thinking.
it is. Auburn Cultural Council?
Okay, so back in 2017, I wrote for 4 grants through the Auburn Cultural Council. So we were awarded the 4. The first one is Dan Kurak, and he's going to be here on June the 11th. Roger Tinknell, September 17th. Tommy Rule, October 29th. And Davis Bates will be here November 16th. So that's Auburn Cultural Council grant. And then Elder Services, they're gonna have a 6-week workshop starting on March 22nd, 6 weeks consecutively from 9 to 11:30, and it's on diabetes management. So if you know of anyone wants to sign up for that, they get it, so for 6 weeks that goes on. Let's see, February 27th through March the 8th, I will be on vacation. So just wanted to let you know about that. And then coming up in March, these are some of the events we have. March the 9th, Senator Moore is hosting an Irish breakfast at 9:30, and that's at the Packagug Church this year for Auburn residents. And you need to sign up through Senator Moore's office. No sign-ups through here, through Senator Moore's office only. March the 12th, Gary Landron's coming from 10:30 to 11:30. He's gonna be here for some St. Patrick's Day. He was here 3 months ago. Everyone really liked him. He's known as the Honky Tonk Man,
Yeah, it's back by popular demand.
back by popular demand. Lynn Wustevin's gonna come back, and she's doing mobility screening again. She got full the last time, so that's from 10 to 11:30. She does it at 15-minute intervals. You need to sign up for that. And then at 10:30, she's gonna do a presentation on Parkinson's. So again, that's March the 15th at 10:30. March the 16th, we have Clara Harrington coming. She's a 11-year-old, and she's an Irish step dancer. So she's gonna be here right before lunch at 11:30. And then right after lunch, Bank Hometown is sponsoring Decorate Your Own Cookies. And that's all free, but you just need to register so they know how many cookies to bring in. March the 19th, RSVP is going to do a presentation that's on scams. And basically they have people that act out different scenarios about seniors, the scams that are going on. So that's March 19th at 10 o'clock. Better Breathers is here again on March the 28th for people that have COPD and other breathing issues, and they're here in the back room at 1 o'clock, March 28th. And then again, as I talked about, March 22nd and 29th is a diabetes management workshop with Elder Service with a Worcester. So those are some of the March programs coming up.
Did you skip the one about the cookies?
Nope, the cookies is on there, March 16th
Yeah.
through Bank Hometown. So you have to just sign up for that.
Okay. Nothing further?
That's all I have.
We have a lot of stuff going on here.
Busy.
Can I get a copy of that?
Do we have a program update, which
That's
we
what I just
already
did.
have? Miscellaneous, anyone? No comments? No citizens, no comments? Need a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
You need a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next meeting is March 13th at 10 a.m.